Good evening. Making the headlines on Mello TV Evening News at 8. Restaurant industry hit by $10 million fraud as 5 Burger King employees face arrest. The University Hospital of the West Indies now offers free medical care for children aged 12 years and younger. And the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools requests an urgent meeting with the government regarding further salary discussions. And now the details. The Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, JAPS, is requesting an urgent meeting with the government for further salary discussions. Teachers are concerned about the new salary structure, and JAPS President Lynn Vern Wright is urging the government to address their issues to prevent their exodus from the profession. Some teachers reported that their March salaries were incorrect, and outgoing JTA President Lasandra Harrison has called for an explanation from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. JTA and the government signed a revised compensation package on March 13, but some senior teachers are displeased with their March salaries. In other news tonight, the University Hospital of the West Indies now offers free medical care for children aged 12 and younger. This announcement was made due to the rise in admissions at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, located in the Southeast Health Region, which is mostly attributed to respiratory illnesses. Therefore, the Ministry of Health and Wellness recommends that children who are sick should be brought to the University Hospital of the West Indies for proper medical attention. Still tonight, the restaurant industry has been hit by a $10 million fraud as 5 Burger King employees face arrest. 5 individuals, including a supervisor who worked at a Burger King location in Kingston, have been arrested for allegedly defrauding the company of nearly $10 million over a 3-month period this year. The suspects are believed to have pocketed the money by voiding legitimate customer orders. The details of the alleged fraud have not been disclosed. The suspects were taken into custody after a report was filed, and the investigation is expected to be transferred to the fraud squad. Still making Mello TV news, the private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, is holding the government accountable to its fiscal responsibility commitment. Now, this follows the recent removal by Parliament of the 9% wage to GDP fiscal rule from Jamaica's fiscal responsibility framework. However, the government affirms that the remaining fiscal rules are sufficient to restrict spending and meet legislative debt targets. PSOJ President Metri Siaga pledged to monitor the situation closely. Meanwhile, opposition Senator Lambert Brown argued for focusing on productivity and growth. The leader of government business, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, promised that the government will not return to unsustainable spending. And we go now to news from St. James, where completion of Grange Pen Development Project, scheduled for next year in the Grange Pen community, is undergoing infrastructural and regularization work that is set to finish next year. The project, financed by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF, is led by the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, and is expected to benefit 535 households in the community. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, who is also the Member of Parliament for St. James East Central, said the development represents how tourism can contribute to community development and improve people's quality of life. Minister Bartlett also announced that the NHT will be building 1,250 houses in the Barrett Hall area of St. James. Still making the news tonight, the police are being urged by the UIC to address questionable shooting incidents. Jamaica's third political party, the United Independence Congress UIC, wants Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson to publicly address what it believes are questionable shootings by the police. After monitoring shootings over the past year, they have cited specific incidents, including the fatal shooting of 2 unarmed security guards in Negril and the fatal wounding of a 64-year-old farmer in St. James. The UIC is warning that silence will be interpreted as the police protecting their image at the cost of people's lives. Still making Mello TV evening news at 8. A probe is underway into the deaths of 2 unidentified men on Burke Road in St. Andrew. One man has been identified as light-skinned, tall, and wearing a black hooded jacket, jeans, and gray sneakers, while the other man is of dark complexion, is short, and was wearing a red t-shirt, jeans, and Puma sneakers. The men were found on April 3 inside a Nissan Sylphy car with multiple gunshot wounds. They were pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. The police are urging anyone with information to contact the MID at 876-758-5048, Crime Stop at 311, Police Emergency 119, or the nearest police station. In a Mello TV follow-up report, the accused father of the 17-year-old Shadiq Calvert, who was fatally stabbed on Sunday, has been found and was treated in hospital this morning. He was found unresponsive with his throat and both wrists slashed, and he is currently being treated under police supervision. He was sought by the police after the dispute with his daughter Shadiq on Sunday resulted in a knife being used to inflict stab wounds to her chest. She was taken to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. In other news, a man was shot multiple times at 3 o'clock today at the entrance of the Meadowbrook Prep School in St. Andrew. According to reports coming into our news center, the victim was picking up a student from the school on his motorcycle when gunmen in a motor vehicle pulled up, shot him several times, and then escaped. The man was rushed to the hospital, where he is now in critical condition. Now, after the police were reportedly reluctant to initiate a search party, the bodies of 38-year-old Georgia Blunt and her 42-year-old partner, Roel Fuller, were found in an abandoned house with their hands and feet bound with rope from cows and gunshot wounds to their heads. The couple failed to return home after they went to tend to cows. The St. Catherine North Police released an incident report yesterday claiming that Fuller and Blunt were reported missing on Sunday. No motive has been established for the killings. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Shelley Hill. Do stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.